Surging police manpower is a focus in Tallahassee, where Governor Rick Scott hinted at turning over the Florida Highway Patrol to county sheriff's departments this year. That idea went nowhere. However, FHP is now the agency taking on new duties itself from the Department of Transportation, and more merger talk is bound to happen. Mike Vasalinda reports from our exclusive Capitol Bureau.
Florida Highway Patrol troopers came close to wearing the green uniforms of sheriff's deputies this past legislative session. The jobs of more than 1,500 troopers were almost given to local sheriffs. It would have been the biggest outsourcing in recent history, and it was backed by Governor Rick Scott. It was the sheriffs, not the patrol, that pushed back and said no.
If a deal was worked out that the funding might be here one year, and the funding could disappear in the next legislative session.
The switch could have potentially raised local property taxes, but the fight's not over. Tucked into a Senate bill is legislation requiring a study of consolidating all law enforcement functions, everything from the FHP to the Fish and Wildlife Commission, agricultural agents, and more. That same legislation moved DOT officers who inspect large 18-wheelers to the Highway Patrol.
We're looking for overweight vehicles.
When state government reorganized in the late 1960s, law enforcement agencies were purposely kept apart so no one agency would have total control. Rick Scott sidestepped the question of why he was willing to transfer the patrol to local sheriffs and instead talked about what he hopes the study finds.
I think it's good to have a conversation about how can we do a good job with what the state ought to be involved with in law enforcement.
The study is due before lawmakers meet in January. In Tallahassee, Mike Vasalinda, WPTV News Channel 5.
Now, though the law merging DOT compliance officers with the Florida Highway Patrol does not take effect until Friday, July 1st, the DOT logo has already been removed from its fleet of cars.